And we're live, baby. Yo, what's up, y'all?
What's going on?
Welcome to the 71st episode of the In Your Face
Sure.
Show. And I'm here with my brother from my mother now, from another mother, you know what I'm saying? My brother, man, you know what I'm saying? My main man, Luke. Kevin, no, I can't shit. My fault.
Oh,
Miss Kevin Lukata. Sorry about that.
yes, sir.
Kevin Lukata. I was thinking about what we was just talking about. Sorry about that. When I said Luke, it's like that. Kevin Lukata.
Thank you for having me on there, my man. It's an honor, man. It's an honor, really.
Well, thank you, man. I do this out of love, man. I do this out of love and cheer and just happiness, man. Putting a smile on people's faces. You know what I mean?
Yep, that's what we're here.
Yeah, man. So let's what we gonna get into today. What you got for us today?
Hey, you the showrunner, baby.
All right.
It's the
So,
way.
so let's talk about that Lazarus, that movie called Lazarus, brother. What's up with that?
So Lazarus is a film made by the great R.L. Scott. It follows this man Lazarus who was asked by the mob to be one of their drug runners. He refused, so the mob got rid of him. The next thing you know, he wakes up a totally different person with new power, new abilities. And now he uses his newfound power to go ahead and take down those who actually try to cross him.
Awesome, awesome. So with you know with the guy that you play in this movie,
Hmm.
how big is this to you?
You know what? So me, I'm playing the one of the villains named Endless. All right,
Okay.
and what this movie means to me is it shows growth, and growth in a sense where us as people, African of African descent, right,
Hmm.
are able to come up with our own superhero, let alone our own movies, our own superhero movie, and really be out there playing with the rest of them. So for us to have a superhero out there, it doesn't have to be DC, no Marvel, no Image. It could just come from your heart, from your mind, and the goal is just to put it out there, to be part of this huge thing, have a piece of the pie pretty much. And that was RL's main goal while making this movie.
Mm, okay, okay. So doing this movie, right?
Hmm.
How in touch with the villain was you? Was you how was you really in touch with the villain? How the villain was, or was you really? Was it just a role that you just played?
You know what? So when I prepare for that, every time I prepare for a different role, usually what I do about a few months before, I create a playlist with themes that I do believe matches that villain in particular. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
So as I was preparing to play Endless, I became Endless. So that when I show up on set, I'm already the character. I am not acting. I am him.
Mm.
And so even in the way I moved, my fighting style, everything that I did was very different from what I was used to. Usually my style is a little more boxing like, but this time my hand movement was a little more fluid. Like I just became something different. I became Endless, you know. So that's how in touch I was with the character.
Mm.
Just everything you do it with style, with a touch, while being deadly at the same time.
Right, right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So being an action hero, an action star, man, what kind of feelings do you get on the stage? Like when you do on the scenes? Like, what is the scenes? feel like when you're really into it?
Well, thank you for calling me an action star. Even though I don't see myself like one yet, but that's the goal, right? Now, when it's my turn to perform, to me, the one thing that matters is the scene that I'm in.
Hmm.
The more I think about how I'm gonna do it, the more I think about, oh, I should do. None of that matters at the moment, besides the scene. The impression you make, the people that might get what you did, none of that matters as long as you're in there. Because what I've seen, what I've also experienced is that the moment when you acting, especially in the fight scene, you acting and you doing something, the moment your mind goes elsewhere, the camera picks it up. The
Mm.
camera sees everything. So the moment your mind goes somewhere else, the camera will pick it up. So that's which is why it is important for me as an actor, but even like especially as I'm doing a fight scene, it is very important for me to be in that moment. Nothing else matters besides me being there.
Mm.
Kevin is in my backpack. Like he's not here today. I am this character, and I have to take this guy out. Every move, everything I do has to have intention. But the best way to do that is by being in the moment.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
It's
Being in the
you,
moment.
Bruce Lee used to say, like, you know, do not do, feel.
Mm.
In Enter the Dragon, you just gotta feel it. You just gotta be in there. Intent is everything. And it
Right.
shows. The camera will pick that up.
Wow, wow. So I've always wondered, right? You know how like on sitcoms, right? You
Yeah.
see one person of yourself, and you'll see the real person, but you'll see the other person. How the person that looks just like you? How the fuck do they do that with those cameras like that?
Oh, that my friend is the magic of editing.
Ah,
The magic of editing. When you see like there's two Kevins both in the same place.
yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't deciphered that yet, and I can't wait to see how they do that.
Man, because I've always wondered, like, man, if I could get something like, man, get like a trailer of Jarhead and have the angelic Jarhead and Jarhead, the human Jarhead, and have them have one be like, become one, and it'd be awesome, man. Like,
And it will be awesome. You'll get that done.
I have, man, look, dog, you shit. Tell her, hey, look, you got me all pumped up for some shit, man. I got some ideas, man. I'm ready to go crazy, but nah, nah. So,
That's your power, man. Like being creative is your power, so you should live fully in it, you know?
oh yes, man. Like, dog, like I see a lot of stuff. Like my eyes, like what I see is like stuff that whatever God gives me, I can see everything around me and everything, like the ins and outs of everything. And to be honest with you, this is like when you get a character idea, right? For a
Mm-hmm.
character, right?
Mm-hmm.
That comes from the subconscious, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But also that comes from God, you know what I'm saying? But people don't, if you're spiritual, that comes from what you're seeing, what you've been through, what you're seeing on TV, and your mind is putting it all together, and that's how you come up with a character out of nowhere sometimes.
And that's very interesting that you say that because I don't think really it comes out of nowhere. Each character you
Well,
create,
you get what I'm saying.
no, I get what you're saying. Each character you create is a part of yourself. Like,
Right, right,
you have to dig to, and you have to dig within your happiness to create that character. Then you dig into your pain to
right.
create that character, which is like a lot of times, a lot of times the main villain is the manifestation of our own pain. It's what we
Right,
wish we could do with that, and we manifested into this character that would have done exactly what you wish you could do. But
right,
doing it,
exactly.
you know, is wrong. So that's why you create the other character. You know, like
Right,
some
exactly.
of these people are just like,
Right,
many parts of you, and that's what I think is very interesting about storytelling. You know.
right. Storytelling is basically you could take in and put out. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You could put in what you want and take out what you want.
Yeah.
And that and see what people don't understand too is that is basically what life is. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Some characters are taken out, one person dies, another person is born, or two are born,
Yeah.
two or three are born, triplets. Just like triplets are born, one person is gone. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Like, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. You cannot stop population. You cannot stop birth. You can't stop it.
It's part of the
You
it's
know what
part
I'm
of the balance. Yeah.
saying? Exactly. It's part of the creation mode. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And what people don't understand is that what I see in what you acting. You know what I'm saying? Okay, what was your most emotional moment on set when you're acting? What are your most emotional moments?
The most emotional moment I had was when I had to cry for the first time.
Right, right,
So
right.
basically, I was playing this character who was avenging his brother, and by avenging his brother, he ended up betraying his father. So at the end, he's there, lay down with his leg broken, and his father just towers over him. So and you just saw like the guilt, the shame that he feels, but he still calls on to his father, asking like, "Father, like please forgive me, or if do what you have to do." But you see him repenting at that moment. So it was hard because man, there was 100 people watching me doing that scene all at the same time. Like it's hard to cry when I mean that was back in the day, but it was hard to cry when like 100 people were watching me, and that was my very first movie ever too. You know, and but you know, it's to me, the reason why that part was emotional for me is because that's something I always wanted to do ever since I was a kid. It was my first time really like acting, really being immersed in my character, but on an emotional level. You know, since I was like, it was my first time doing that, and I was so happy, but at the same time, so nervous because wait, like everyone is watching, I better not mess up, right? And funny enough, it goes back to what I was saying, is that because I was so nervous, the camera would pick it up. So I had
Mm.
to set a bunch of times, which created another emotional enfrazzlement. I got a little frustrated after that, and then after a certain amount of take, I think I took about 5 takes, and after the fifth one, okay, I got it in the can. But to me, it was big. It was big.
Okay, okay. What was the most you know, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about it a little bit.
All
Because
right.
because like I want to get deep down into that. What do you like? Why do you feel you know when you are dealing with the scene that you're supposed to cry? You know what I would have done in that moment? I
Think
would have
about something else.
thought about the shit that I've been through as a child, or just been through stuff that I've been through, and I would have just brought that back up and just boohoo and let it just because see when you when stuff stick like that to your some of that stuff stick to your ribs like grits. You know what I'm saying? You know when you eat some grits, that shit stick to you. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? That shit stick to
Yeah,
you. You know what I mean? So you shit. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Ah man, shit. Ah shit, stuck to you. No, but, nah. So as you're as you're thinking about it, what I would have done, I would have just used what I've been through, and I would have just cried and took it to the whole new level. You put me through the ringer before we got on the show. You was like, oh shit, this guy can really do it, But I can't tell the people what I just did, you know what I'm saying? But
Uh,
I mean, nah. But seriously, to be honest with you, man, I would have really took that to the top. You know what I'm saying? Because I think, I could see you as a non-emotional type of guy. You know what I'm saying? Like you be like, I don't know how to cry. You know what I'm saying? Damn, I would have took some spit. Like, see, I'm crying. You know what I'm saying?
well, the funny thing about the funny thing about that moment is that I did do that after the third take.
Okay.
Third take, I
Okay.
had to reset. I'm like, okay, man, you know what? I think you got to think about something that will mess you up, or something
Right.
that you've been through before. Just the idea of something so painful that you will have to cry at the moment. And I went there, and it worked.
And that's the thing. See, that is what telling us. That is where you get the people to cry while they're watching the movie. That will make them cry, and that will make them feel sorrowful. That will
Yeah,
make them feel like, damn, this guy. Because because once a person get in touch with this character, once you start crying and people get in touch with your character, you done built a character, you done built a phenomenon, and you done built a person that people can relate to, and it'll
yeah.
take them back. That's healing right there. That's
Yeah.
self healing. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And man, dog, like
Yeah, man.
I when you was
That's
telling just
go
go
ahead, my
ahead,
man.
go
No,
ahead.
I was saying like, yeah, man. It is relatability is a big thing when it comes to character development.
Yeah,
If you do not relate to the character, how can you understand, what he's going through? For example, sometimes we get frustrated when the character makes stupid decisions. Like, wait, really? Why would you do that? Like, why would you do that? Like, it's like there was a show, I forgot what it was, but the character was making so many dumb decisions that I couldn't relate, and I
right,
checked out.
right, right. So let me,
I checked out.
yeah, and see, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you feel like a character is like, it's like, see, and this is the whole thing, man. Like, that's why I said, like, I know, man. I know I can fucking go crazy in the movie, man. I know I can. What? Telling you, let me do it. I'll go, boy.
Please, I'm
I
here
had
for it.
a, I had a motherfucker crying. Shit. You know what I
I'm
mean?
here
But
for it. And please,
nah, man, because I just the way I feel, man, about acting and movies and stuff like that. See, when I watch movies, I watch it for the feeling,
of course.
and I look into the eyes of the actor, and like movies like Punisher, movies like Passion of the Christ, movies like Titanic, movies like sad movies.
Hmm.
That also too. That is what really got me into doing my writing more, because that's what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And see, that's what I could tell. You're very intellectual about it. You could take a character, say like if that's just a basic character, you could take it to a whole new level with your mindset, with your, you know what I'm saying? If you think this character's stupid,
Well,
oh
yeah,
man, fuck it.
that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
like
And those are because when you understand storytelling, you understand the need for your characters to have layers,
right,
because the layers of his personality is what's going to dictate his actions. You know, like, oh
mhm,
yeah, Kevin and Daniel were walking in the street, and Daniel just blah punch a dude right there, and that's it, a fight scene. But like, if we don't understand why he did that, then that scene loses all of its meaning. But
Right.
oh, if the dude was wearing a red cap with that logo, and that reminded him of his best friend who got beat to death by a bunch of dudes that was wearing that cap with that logo when he was 5 years old, witnessing that. So now every time he sees somebody wearing that, there's a trigger. So now Kevin and Daniel are walking together, and boom, the audience will see that guy with the red cap, and they'll be like, ah, shit, and boom, Daniel hitting that guy. That's what's gonna make that moment, that just that simple push, that simple scene, memorable, because you
Right.
understand that person's background. You know where he came from, you know, and yeah, man, and that's what I'm saying. That's like, I believe that a good actor has to understand storytelling. You understand storytelling, that's you're already on your way there, and
Right.
then it's a matter of just practicing and perfecting your craft.
Right. And see, being a comic creator and writing comics and stuff like that, all the characters that I created all comes from stuff that I've been through.
Yeah.
Like Jarhead comes from my spiritual life, and Jarhead comes from the stories that I heard my dad told, and comes from my dad. My dad, being in the military, being a Marine, and I picked that up, and basically I put that all together, and that's how Jarhead came about. But the story actually come from just stuff that I dealt with in my life. You know what I mean? My young life. You know what I mean? And when you see bloodshed scenes or whatever, like, I mean, of course you've seen uh like the bloodshed scene in the first book of Jarhead. You see the person, you know what I'm saying? That is actually where the guy got tied up and all that stuff. That is just a pinnacle of dreams that I have, you know what I'm saying? Visions and
Oh,
stuff like that.
dreams. Yeah, dreams,
Yeah. Yeah, because if you're able to depict what you're seeing, what you've seen before, and really put it out on paper and really give the artist what you had, what you saw, if they can see what you see, and y'all have if y'all have that what's that word,
man.
the
Visual
when y'all,
comprehension.
yeah, the visual appearance, the visual,
The word I have right now is comprehension, for
yeah,
like,
comprehend. If y'all can comprehend each other and
yeah,
understand each other, where y'all coming from,
yeah,
then y'all able to put that into put that on paper and able to put it out into the world, and the world is able to, and on paper and 2D and art, that shit'll work.
yeah,
Because because what people don't understand is that, what the world don't understand is that everything is art.
yeah.
Everything. Movies
Re-
is art, singing is art, rapping is art, dancing is art. No matter
Yeah.
what it is, exotic dancing, stripping,
Hmm.
ballet, break dancing, hip hop dancing,
Yeah.
all of that is an art.
Yeah.
It depends on the person that's doing it, that
Yeah.
makes it dirty, that makes it clean, that makes it cool, that makes it nasty.
Hmm.
It's all, it depends on the person that's doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Say like if I'm doing a action scene, right?
Hmm.
And just like before we got on live, you know what I'm saying? And you had me, do the acting thing of what the thing, right? I did that just from a from just being jarhead. I did that from just being having so much anger pent up inside you from what you've been through and what you go through. That's nothing but pure acting right there. That's nothing but pure talent. That's nothing, just pure pain. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's what a lot of folks. You can say you want to be an actor, but when it really gets down to it, You
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? You're not able to put the emotion in it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And also, and is I'm glad you're saying that because it touches also in the fact that in order to be a good storyteller, in order to be a good actor, you got to be a good storyteller. In order to be a good storyteller, there has to be this understanding of life.
Hmm.
That there has to be this understanding that is, I would call, for lack of a better word, vital. You have to understand how life works. That sometimes, like if there are shows or movies where the main character at the end, his ending is messed up, right? But
Hmm.
that's the way life is. That's the way life is. You understand that, what? Sometimes, yes, you might be in the right, you might be in the right mind, or this has happened. You the hero, but sometimes life just plays out that way.
Right,
So
right,
it always gives like a shock factor. Like, it's crazy. Like we are always shocked because we are so trained to understand that the hero wins at the end. That when the hero dies or loses at the end, we're in shock. But that's how life is.
right, right.
You
And
know
see,
that
good, good,
no, and
good.
that and even like I said, that's how life is. And now even in the way you build your characters, right? Like
Hmm.
we said before, a lot of characters comes from within you, from like parts of you.
Hmm.
But like you said, sometimes they could come from other people's experiences,
Exactly.
stuff that you learn from from folks.
Other people. Yeah.
Exactly. So you got to be open to other people to understand what life is really about, because
Right.
there are so many different walks of life. You don't know them all, right?
Exactly. Exactly. And
And
it's crazy, man. Like the way things is is broken down in life.
hmm
You're able to see the broader picture when you're really listening to people. You know what I'm saying? See what I do, how I get most of my scenes. I look around and everything. If I hear something, I'll write it down. If I see something I like, I write it down. Say like if I see a building, I write it down. Or you know what I'm saying? It's all of the everything, the visual conception of what you're seeing. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
absorbing your surroundings. Yeah.
Exactly. You have to know your surroundings because like it's like a director, a person that wrote the story. He has to be able to see everything around him and survey the people that's talking and put it into action, but also put that emotion. That's like making a sandwich.
hmm
You know, so you got the bottom bread, you put the meat down, or you put the mayonnaise down, or you put the mustard or ketchup, whatever,
Yeah.
and you put the meat down. You know what I'm saying? You put the tomatoes, you put the lettuce, you put the onion,
hmm
and then you put the bread on top. What is that? That's a sandwich.
Which, yeah.
You know what I mean? That is a that's how you put together a story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like for example, some people eat the sandwich without the meat. You know, and that's why you know it's like for example, okay, as this show grows, right? As the In Your Face show grows, right? I'm gonna get more viewers, more people viewing what is singing. The
hmm
more they see the big faces, the more they see the faces of people that they know that's seen on TV, they're going to more than likely tune in every time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It depends on see growth. When you go through life, you're growing as a person.
Yeah.
Like like being taught patience. That comes with character.
Yeah.
A character is being created through patience, and you're growing and you're maturing into what you want to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Say like if you ask God, okay, God, I want $5 million. Okay, He's going to teach you patience of getting that $5 million. He's going to
Mhm.
teach you how to get it, and He's going to teach you the character to understand and on understanding and taking care of that money.
Yeah,
See what I'm saying?
yeah. Because
Because it
patience so builds character.
exactly, and patience build wise spending, and patience build. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Wise spending and wise handling. What more responsibility comes with that money. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
The brighter the lights is, the more you have to be able to execute your plan.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing, the brighter the light, the brighter the light, the darker the shadows too. So that's something that we have to be, you know, how you say that,
Aware.
aware of. Awareness is a big thing, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing too. Like being a storyteller requires all these little layers of that sandwich, which
Mm-hmm.
is life, characters, moods, and like you got to put all of that together to create a good story. Like me, sometimes I do appreciate when I watch a scene, right? Like, and you see that in a lot of French movies where a character is just sitting there. There's no music, no music. It's just him sitting there and eating a sandwich, and you just see the shot from the side of him eating the sandwich in
Mm-hmm.
total quiet, but he's just eating it. But as he's eating it, you just hear through the sandwich and you hear the background noise. The cars going, the clock going, and he's just there, right there, eating the sandwich. Just that simple scene right here tells so much about a character. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? Is that sometimes like how can I explain this? Is that sometimes like you have all these layers that create something, and sometimes you just have barely two ingredients, and you have this thing. As you sometimes like you see how simplicity can really bring a lot, right? Yeah, Miss Isabel. And that's the thing, and that's one thing that as storytellers also, we are open to that. Like no, like having an understanding of life, makes you like enables you to to separate the the simplicity with the business. You can have a heavily layered sandwich and also a simple sandwich, but the impact will be the same because you understand what a story is made of.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make
Mm-hmm.
sense?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like for example, everything that we as people begin to grow, right?
yeah.
The story of the creation story is going on. You know what I'm saying? And this, I always put it like this. I always put it like this. If you're a spiritual person, whoever is watching, if you're a spiritual person, I'm gonna break it down to you. All right, you're a Christian woman, man, whatever. I'll break it down for you. Give you a understanding into my world. You know what I mean? No, I'm just joking with you. All right, it's like this. You have the headquarters, which is
Hmm.
God, right? Well, not which is not the headquarters. Well, you have the headquarters, which is heaven, right? Satan has his headquarters, which is hell,
Yeah.
right? And God has his his allies, which is we. We are his superheroes. We are his, what I'm saying, his allies. You know what I mean? And the angels are his army. You see what I'm saying? The angels are his people that he sends, right? Satan has his, what I'm saying, his army and and he has his children, which is his allies, right? Doing his work on the earth, right? So You have the world, and the world is basically the storyline. The world and the actions, the shit that's going on in the world, like the killings, the weather, the hurricanes, the storyline. That's a storyline. And we are the people, and the people around us in civilization are the people. And they die and go and leave, and some situations happen traumatically, some situations happen, you know what I'm saying? Some people die drastic, some people die dead, killed, getting killed, and all that stuff, right? Now, if you look at God, what happened? He created all of this, right? He created the whole story and all that stuff, right?
Yep.
What happens when he want to kill something off? What happens to a on when you're acting and you see a person one day and the person not there the next?
Hmm.
Got killed off, right?
Yeah.
Got killed off, right?
Yeah.
So when a person dies and they're in this story, this whole story of life, what happens? They get killed off.
Yeah.
They taken out of the story, right? And
Yeah.
somebody else is being born, which is what another story is being another character is being added.
Yeah.
So if you look at the story, what is the story? What is God? He's telling a story. He's an artist. He's a writer. He's a
Yeah.
what? So if you really look at it, if he's the creator of everything, then what is he? He's not a murderer. What is he?
It's a
He's the
story.
creator of the story.
Yeah.
Exactly. So how can a person that don't know him or understand him, how can the creation take over the creator? Can't.
Hmm.
The creator is not going to worship the creation.
Yeah.
That'll be like the creation have more power over the creator.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to break that down to where understanding people are understanding where I'm coming from. You see what I'm coming
No,
from, right?
I see exactly what you're talking about. Is like, basically, you are saying that God is the storyteller.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
every story that is built, everything that's happening right now as we speak in our lives,
Hmm.
that is little stories those are spin-offs of what's
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
You know, those are spin-offs of what we could use, what he could use to better our lives and build us up. You see
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
he created Satan, so Satan basically that's a spin-off right there as it is. You know what I'm saying?
Doesn't he already have his show?
I ain't gonna get that, but fuck them. You know, I ain't even gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna do it. Nah, they ain't gonna give that nigga no goddamn clout. Uh-uh. But anyway, nah. What I'm trying to, y'all get where I'm coming from. It's just the understanding of what's going on and how the story is told. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Is like I said, having that understanding of life in general that can make you understand like the big story. You know how people
hmm
come and go. Like one story ends, another one starts. You know,
hmm
a lot of times the audience may not agree with the choices, but from one storyteller to another, sometimes you see like one of the characters that you thought was vital, getting killed off, and you're like, wait, no way. But as a storyteller, you're like, I get it. I mean, that's how life is, Like I get
hmm
it. Damn, that's fucked up, but I get it.
yeah. See,
You know?
and that's what I'm saying. You can't get attached to those characters because those characters are going to get killed off anyway.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying,
I know. But sometimes some characters are just too hard to get attached to.
yeah, too hard to let go. And I understand that too. You
And
know what
that's
I'm
the
saying?
that's
Because
that's the relatability that creates that.
exactly. And you know, it's crazy too. And what a lot of people don't understand is that we're married to our creation.
Hmm.
We're married to it. When it comes, just like God is married to us,
Hmm.
he's married to his creation. So you are the bride of the groom, of the bridegroom.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And you're married to him. You're married. You're his creation. So say like if I created Jarhead
Hmm.
and I sold him off, that would mean I'm cheating on my spouse. Think about it.
Yeah.
You sold it for money,
I see where you come. I see where you coming from. I can see. Yeah, I see that angle.
and yes, because that would mean that you're messing up y'all oneness and y'all covenant that you made when you created this character. You created it. Why are you giving it away to somebody else for money? You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That's like, for example, a woman having a baby, and that baby is taken away from her because that's like a woman getting an abortion, right? She
Ooh.
don't want the baby. That's like killing off. That's killing off something that you created. You created it. That's based so blood is going to be on your hands, right? So that's killing off something. You know what I'm saying? But see, that's not saying that that person is a bad person. No, that's just saying, hey, she didn't want the baby. It should happen, but it's going to affect people around you that got attached to that child. It may affect the father that you killed the baby, but if that child is not loved by that father won't give a fuck, and he'll just be like, "Fuck, you killed it.
Yeah.
We want to live our. I want to live my life." That see, that's a careless person who created something. If you're creating something, you have to take care of it, and you have to build on it. You see what I'm saying? Watch it grow and nurture that motherfucker. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
I see your angle. I see where you're coming from because when you think about it, when you like your creation, you marry to your creation because your creation is part of you, and you and your spouse, become one. So I see now. It really depends. Like for example, do you know in the world of storytelling, creation, art, and all that, there's always that project that is called your baby.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one you don't want to sell. That's the one you want to see you want to see grow, right? Now there are other stories that you do have on the side that you may not, like, oh, you know what, yeah, little story, yeah, you can have this one, you can have this one. I guess it depends on the level of attachment you have towards that story that you create.
Mm-hmm.
Now, even though every story you create is a part of you, but like I said, sometimes some of those the stories you create come from experiences that you've heard from others, from people you've observed, and all of that. So that attachment is very different
Right, right,
compared
right,
to the ones that come from you.
right.
You know, the ones that we call our babies. We all
Exactly.
have that project, like that's my baby right there. And yeah, but I do understand your angle.
Right, because it's like this too. It's like a rapper, right?
Yeah.
Some rappers don't write their own lyrics.
No.
That's what you call ghostwriters.
May,
Ghostwriters.
may I say something about that? So when I was living in France, I didn't understand. Like I used to hear rap songs, but I didn't understand what they were saying. To me, they just sounded good, right?
Hmm.
So now I come here, I hear the lyrics and all of that. The disappointment when I found out about ghostwriters. Oh man, I didn't know there was such a thing. I
What?
didn't.
Well, yeah, because it's like this too. Back then you didn't have many ghostwriters. You didn't have that because not everybody back then. Not everybody had that talent to do so.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
not everybody was willing to do that. But some did.
Yeah.
Some did. Some did it on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it came down to like I say 1960s, 1970s, 50s and shit like that, you know what I mean? That's when that shit came about, you know what I'm saying? The ghostwriters. Cause I remember like if you listen to the Temptations, um the My Girl song, where did that come from? That came from Smokey Robinson.
Really?
Yeah, the Temptations didn't write that. Smokey Robinson wrote that, and that's how that came about. You see what I'm
Oh,
saying?
okay.
Right. When they say "My Girl," that comes from Smokey Robinson. That was one of
Got.
his songs that he wrote for them. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? And
a little bit of
now you,
history like that.
yeah, now you see what I'm saying. Like, and for example, okay, um, like for example, when you Bobby Brown, right? You're gonna do Bobby Brown, right? My prerogative. Where do you think that came from?
I
The
don't know.
writing of it came from Teddy Riley, Smooth B, and what's the other guy name? He's from Guy, the same group Guy. Um, I forget what it's called. I forget what it's called, but
But I never knew the name of the actual singers in it.
Bobby Brown, actually.
But in Guy?
Yeah. No, not in Guy. Teddy Riley is in Guy,
Oh,
and
okay.
and another guy, Aaron Hall, and another guy,
Okay.
Aaron Hall. Yeah, and
Somebody that knows his music right there. I
yes,
love
I love music. You know what I'm saying? And all those guys came together and wrote that song for
it. Hmm.
Bobby, and Bobby just came in with his voice and came in with his attitude and just took it over. You know what I'm saying? Went crazy. And you see how that came about, and that came just from a tune of him going through shit. Him at that time, he was a bad boy of R&B. So he was a bad boy at the time. So he needed an anthem that explains who he was and what he was doing, what he was about. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So think about it. See, you know what I'm saying? And that
Yeah.
song is hitting every time it come on. You see everybody jumping up and down, dancing and everything because that is a song that touched the spirit, touched the heart. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
that touches who you are as a person. You know, like rappers. Some rappers, Drake don't write his own all his songs. A lot of these Game don't write all the songs. 50 don't write all the songs. Not all of them. All of like music, like singers. A lot of singers don't write all their own songs.
That I know. Yeah, that I know.
Yeah, a lot. See, a lot of them. Ghostwriting is not bad
No,
if
it's not
it's
at all.
yeah, it's not at all. It's not bad at all if like for example, if say like for example, okay, if I'm collaborating with you on a story, right?
Hmm.
And I ask you, yo, what you think you can add to the story? If I
Hmm.
have a song, okay, you write a part of the story. If I have a story, right, and I'm wanting to write for a comic book, and you write, okay, all right, I got this, da 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 da, jot that down, and then somebody says part of your party, you write it like a catchphrase, right, and people and that catchphrase pop to the people, and the people start saying that catchphrase. You're responsible for it. That's what a
Yeah.
ghostwriter is to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's one of the things that I've like. That's one of the things that I made me realize that not everyone can do everything. There
Exactly.
are performers, there are writers, and etc. You know.
Exactly.
Now, those who can wear many hats at the same time, those are called talented. Like those are talented. You know, those that's like we call a lot of time we refer them as geniuses.
Mm-hmm.
Those who can wear many hats, those who perform and write. You know, or like I know, for example, like my mentor, Mr. R. L. Scott, was someone who was writing,
Mm-hmm.
directing, you know, like and fight choreographing all together. He was doing all of that. Now these guys, there's a very few that can do that, but and what the actually the acting world and the music is the business that really taught me that there are different people wearing many different hats, and it doesn't make it a bad thing if a singer is not the writer, you know, that's it's okay because performing in itself is a one hell of a talent. To be able to bring simple lines into something that's like that can resonate with everyone, that is talent. Yes, he did,
Hmm.
you know, and yeah, like I said, like I said, it's like there are very, very few people in your lifetime that you run that are able to wear that many hats.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
those who do, more power to y'all.
Yes, yes, yes. Because at the end of the day, because those that can wear many hats and do that can run a business, can do all that. You know what I'm saying? Some can have all those hats, but some can't put it all together though. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, yes, of course.
And it's crazy that we're talking about this because, like for example, okay, I'm a jack of all trades. You know what I'm saying? As a person, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I have many talents. You know, like writing, drawing. You know, it's the talents that I never haven't discovered yet. You know what I'm saying? But like, I want to get into acting. I want to really do this shit. You know what I'm saying? One day, you know what I mean? See what's up, what's to it. You already seen a little bit, so you know.
That's right. But
Uh,
that's what I was saying. That's because you are a storyteller. You understand the essence of life. You know, there was this sentence that my mentor taught me, and I used it in one of my scripts. He was saying that as human beings, we are not only defined by our accomplishments, but also by the tragedies we face.
huh,
And that right there, it shows you how, tragedy and accomplishment are just two sides of the same coin,
right,
you know? And once you understand that one cannot exist without the other, you have not understood life all the way yet.
right, right. It's like the yin and and the yang. The
The yin and the
yin
yang, that's it.
can't exist without the yang. That's like good and evil. Good can't live without evil. Evil can't live without good. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying?
As we were
Like,
saying earlier, the brighter the light, the thicker the shadows.
the thicker the shit that you're gonna have to go through. You
Man,
know what I'm saying? Like the shadows are the evils in the world that you have to deal with to get in order to get to where you have to be. And
yeah.
see, the thing about it is too is like what I always learn is that it's like Biggie always said, more money, more problems. You know what I'm saying? But
And the
see,
problem is always different depending on how much money you have,
exactly, and
you know?
that's why, man. Like she said, she said, she said, let's go. You know what I mean? We having a good old conversation, baby. You know what I'm saying? If you want to join, come on and join.
So Miss Isabel is the wife of our the late R.L. Scott,
Mm,
and I told her about the live, and thank you for chiming in with us, sis. Thank you.
that's awesome. That's a blessing. Blessings. I hope that you share it with the people, you know what I'm saying, so that they all can get all of this goodness, you know what I'm saying, this good talk cuz we on fire. You know?
And, and if I was to add to our conversation too, so we were talking about like this understanding of life and whatnot. Now there's something that like whenever I teach a new actor, like an actor, how to do fight scenes, right? Thank you. Thank you. And in fight scenes, there are also like you gotta also implement that piece of life in it, right? So let's say, for example, there's a fight scene. Daniel and Kevin are fighting. Baba, they're just training in the woods. Boom, boom. So you see, we're very methodical. Bam. You see our movements are clean, right? And you're able to see pretty clearly, right? But
Mhm.
now, fight scene number two, Daniel finds out that Kevin was the one who killed his brother. How is that fight scene gonna be, right? So I'm throwing you a hook while we training, but that same exact technique, that same hook will be different if I'm the one, if if you're the one who killed my brother. Now that hook will have a lot more emotions. Now I'm gonna be more open. Now there's gonna be a lot more. My face also changes. My body language changes. Why? Because of the emotions that you put in it.
Right, right,
And
right.
that's something that like that is like one layer to action. It's like it's called action acting. Doing fighting is really action acting. So now the way we throw our techniques, the way we move is different depending of the emotions we are trying to project into that fight scene. Like the
Right.
finale contains emotions. We have waited an hour and 45 minutes to get to this point. You have waited your whole life to kill the guy, to get to the guy who killed your father. So now all that frustration, that anger, all that built has to be shown in your movement as well. So that's why to me, I like seeing that in the finale. That's why sometimes like the techniques that are thrown in the finale do not have to be super clean because there's that, as Bruce Lee would say, emotional content that
Hmm.
makes this whole thing different. And again, as a storyteller, as a creator, is what I'm talking about is that understanding of life that allows you to actually tap into that.
Right, right, right. So, you being the actor of all actors, man, like, what was the goofiest time on set that you had?
The goofiest time. Okay, so please explain goofy because I've seen a
Like,
lot of goofy stuff on set. Like,
well, like for example, okay, where you get into a scene with the comedian and all of a sudden he just y'all having a scene and then you make a blooper and everybody start laughing.
man, so me, I'm one of those guys where like whenever I'm on set, man, I want everyone around me to have a good time. You know, like I always want to, so I'll be goofing around with everybody, but I must say that was this one time I was on set of Snowfall, and there was that scene when the main character found out that one of his runners was having a whole party in his in the cookhouse, and next thing you know, the cop raided that spot, which hindered the business, right? So now all of the guys, all the runners, we all in the garage, and the main character is making an example of the guy who did that, right? So now we over here with we over here like on set, like we over here on the scene, and one of the guys behind me. No, so now he's a comedian named Mix. All right. Now Mix will say the funniest stuff right before the director says action. So now, mind you, you processing what that dude is saying, right? Trying not to laugh because it's a serious scene, but you just hear like trying to contain your laugh. The moment it goes cut, we just bursted out laughing. It was the hardest time I had to contain my laugh, man. It was hard as hell. Like that dude was just funny as hell. And the moment he said cut, we were just cracking jokes. And right before, and quite on set, he would just whisper the funniest thing and action. And you just hear, because like you could see the vein coming out of my neck. You could just see like I was about to explode. Thank God you didn't see me much, but man, that was one of the goofiest moments I have on set. I had too many,
Oh,
but that's the first one that came in my head right now.
oh, okay, okay. Because when I look at people on set, it's like when I look at people just having fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, was there ever a time where you got into a little skirmish with another actor on set?
You know what? Never. and that has never happened to me. Like I said, with life, I've learned to maneuver around someone's ego, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and I've had a certain understanding of myself where I can't let someone's ego to affect me like that. Does that make
Mm-hmm.
sense?
Very
So
understandable. Very understandable.
yeah, I've never gotten into a skirmish with any other actor in the past. I don't think so. I mean, I've had fight scenes where, bam, I'm going, boom, the actor just clogged me in the face. That has happened. I've caught like straight kicks in the face before, yes, but never a skirmish where, I've never had to clash with anybody. I never had to, and I'm thankful for that.
Okay, okay, okay. So, I've always wondered, right?
Hmm.
You know how like y'all doing a horror movie, right?
Yeah.
And I've always wondered, right? Like I've always wondered where do they get that makeup from? Like the makeup, like that makeup looks so real. Like,
Oh man, now makeup is a whole other realm. Is a whole other realm. Like I've had makeup on before. I was playing the werewolf in a web series that Mr. Scott was actually shooting. We were doing like a few shoot tests, and we had this makeup artist go in and put like prosthetics on me to make me look like a werewolf. And man, it's a whole other realm. Like makeup, that's like especially like special effects makeup. It can take up to hours to get done.
seriously?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially when you going from like my face and then I'm having boom like fangs and all this. Like I remember my makeup took about 3 hours to be made, to be done.
Wow.
Like three
That's
hours, yeah.
crazy. Like,
About three
okay.
hours. That was just my face.
Wow.
Yeah.
So like, hold up. Kevin got that Zen power. Yeah.
Man, you gotta have it. You
Yeah,
gotta have
man, like, I've always wondered. I always wondered too, man, like being an actor, right?
it.
Is it hard? Like, is that makeup heavy? Some of it.
You know what? It can be, yeah. It can be very heavy, especially it depends on the day you're shooting. It depends on the day. So if you're shooting like midsummer and Palmdale, that makeup's gonna be horrible, man. You're gonna be sweating under it. It's gonna be horrible. Now nighttime on the in November might be a little. You might be able to deal with it. It's not as bad. So it
Uh,
depends on time and location. Yeah, like I've been on sets where we were shooting in Palmdale, like I'm talking about July. All right,
oh,
in the desert. Oh yeah, man. Whoo! It was hot. Now, thank God I didn't have any makeup on, but man, I can't imagine how it would be like having to wear that. And I've been on set like in November, December, nighttime, super cold, and actually the makeup feels good on your face. Your face is protected. You're not even cold. Oh, you just have to make sure you have that a sweater, a jacket, something. But your face is cool, protected.
So I have this question, right? Have
Please,
you ever did any love scenes, romantic scenes?
no, not yet. No, no, I haven't done it yet.
But you've had some women that you've.
Well, the thing is this is that when it comes to being an actor, like um, chemistry is everything. All right,
uh,
chemistry is everything. But as chemistry is everything, professionalism is everything.
mm,
Also, you know. Now you could have chemistry with somebody on screen, right, or even off screen. But the thing is that the level of professionalism you maintain, is gonna be everything. So sometimes you see a lot of relationships between actors and actresses being ruined off screen.
Hmm.
I've seen that a lot. So me, my thing is like chemistry is everything, but but I stay very professional. Plus, I have a lady too, so
Hey, that's the thing. That's good. That's good. That's good.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And I've always wondered. You know what I'm saying? Because you being an actor and everything, you being an action star, man. Like you being, was there ever a time where like people will come up to you and be like, "Oh, I saw you in that movie. Yo, you so cool."
yeah. Actually, in the randomest place, the randomest places. Like I've had that a few times at the gym actually, but the guys
Damn.
didn't recognize me. Yeah, they're like, wait, you look familiar, man. I don't know where I've seen you. Oh, you've probably seen me somewhere. Okay. And then I'm like, yeah, let me think about it. Next thing you know, they'll do their own thing and they'll come back to me later. Like, hey man, weren't you in that thing? Yeah, I recognize you, man. Thank you, sir. Like, yeah, man,
Uh,
you awesome. Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, I have gotten that. I've been fortunate enough to have gotten that.
mm. I can't wait till that happen to me, man.
Oh,
I'll go walking down the street, man.
oh
Because
man,
I would love to embrace the fans. I would love to embrace the people that follow my work and everything. I can't wait to just embrace them. You know what I'm saying? And people see it, be like, "Oh man, I saw your show, man. I was awesome." I'm like,
it,
man, look,
it feels great. It feels really good to
yeah,
see
bro.
work that you bleed and the work that you put so much love and pride in affect people like that.
And
You know, it's the best thing about it.
yeah, that's the one of the reasons why I built the show is because
Yeah.
I love people and I want to basically change the world, or I'll die trying to change it. You know what I'm saying? I'll die trying to do what I'm called to do. You know what I'm saying? Like
And that's, and
I
that's
love
what they
people so much. What'd you say?
yeah. And that's why they say that what is a strong man? A strong man is somebody who strives to make a world a better place around him.
Exactly, exactly.
And
Because
it's stuff like that.
yeah, because when people come on the show, I make sure that they're cool, they're not in a bad state of mind. I make sure that they're comfortable, they're cool, they're very. That's why I asked them. I say, what was the shows like before mine? What was the shows you've ever been on? Like, and they'll tell me, but and this is what I say, man. I don't compare those shows to mine because they can't measure up to mine because this is so up tempo and this is some real shit we're talking, you know what I'm saying? It's about to get real soon someday, you know what I'm saying? But
And that's
the
the thing
real
too. You can't compare one show with the other because the essence of each show is different.
exactly. That's
You
why I
know,
don't compare them.
yeah, the message is different. The topics are different.
Mm,
Hell, the personalities are different. You know,
mm-hmm.
but as long as your show comes with a message, there's nothing you have to worry about.
Right, right. See, and my message is the same all the time. Say what the fuck you want to say, how the fuck you want to say, whenever the fuck you want to say it, because
That's right.
I'm the one that got your back because you on the in your face show, goddamn it. We don't play that shit. You know what I mean? And y'all, yeah, it's awesome because the reason why I named my show that name is because that name is so vital to me because I'm a confrontational person,
Yeah,
and like it's in your face. So when people come to you, when people come to you and say, "You been on that In Your Face show?" Yeah, I've been on that show. That show cool. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait till people talking about it. I can't wait till people. I know people talking about it, but I can't wait till the world is talking about it, man. That show is the awesome show. I can't wait to be on that, bro. I don't care. I love the spotlight. The spotlight is me. Spotlight is mine. You know what I'm saying? But I would help people enjoy it. But I love the spotlight. So the spotlight, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be mine on one day. But nah. I just I feel that, you know, the In Your Face show, it's gonna go worldwide one day. And when it does,
As it should, because like now, I believe that a lot of us, one of the reasons why people are so um into and involved in podcasts like that is, hey, Miss Diana. And one of the reasons why people really do appreciate podcasts is because of the authenticity. They don't want, like, people are done with scripted interview. They want to hear people actually speak their mind, people being themselves. And I believe that's what In Your Face show represent is my truth, who I am, bah, in your face. Here it is. This is who I am. You know, just that right there. And that's the thing, like there are so many, but if you like, there are also so many that are popular. Why? Because each show brings something different, you know,
hmm
and each show caters to the number of diversities we have outside. There's some people that love to talk about cooking, people that love to talk about this, people that love to talk about metaphysic matter, people that love to talk about spiritual matter, people that love to talk about politics. There is something for everyone, you know,
hmm
and that's why In Your Face will work because people like to hear what comes out of the soul of somebody. Who is this person? Not the guy that I'm seeing on the internet. Because at the end of the day, a Facebook profile or Instagram profile, you are showing the world what they want to see, right?
right,
Now being in front of the camera, being asked those questions, sometimes those uncomfortable questions, that's what people see. Like, people want to see more of the human experience.
right, right. And see, that's why, when it comes to being a strong man, I know for a fact that being on this show, bringing the show to the people, is bringing a certain fact that is bringing God back here to you, and be like on the platform, it's bringing God back to you here. Have him, have a
Yeah,
peace. You know what I'm saying? Have God. But I'm bringing the heart of God, not I'm bringing the heart of God to you. You know what I'm saying? So that way, when you see it, you're like, damn, I didn't know God was like this. Well, yeah. If you step back and get to know him, half of this shit that you see on TV is lies.
yeah,
You know, the shit that you see on TV is lies. He's not judgmental, and he's not a person that's going to hurt you. No, no, he's not even trying to not even trying to stop you from partying. All he's trying to do is be a part of your life. You know what I'm
really.
saying? Be a part of your life and be a part of everything. Have him in everything, so that way when you do party, when you do get drunk, you don't get there. He wants to be in your spirit, so that way when he start talking to you, and say, like, for example, okay, you're at a party, dancing, having fun, and you go into the bathroom and somebody's following you. You know what I'm saying? And he tells you, don't go into that room, don't go outside, wait until that,
Yeah,
such and such, because you don't know what's around that corner. God knows what's around the corner, so he's
yeah,
alerting you, letting you know, don't get too drunk, because you don't know the surroundings. Watch your surroundings. What's going on? What's not going on? You know what I'm saying? Don't
yeah,
go to that, or don't go at this point. Don't go to that party today. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what's going on at that party. You feel what I'm saying?
of
That's
course.
why he wants to be a every facet of your life. Say like if you got a movie tomorrow, right? And God is telling you, don't go to that movie set tomorrow. You're gonna get shot. You're gonna die. And you don't listen, you're dead. See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And that's the thing, what you don't understand. He knows what's going to happen before time. So he's letting you know ahead of time. So that way you won't say, why do you tell me, God? You didn't listen. You didn't listen for his voice when he told you. You
Yeah,
know, he'll give you some he'll give you the red flags. He'll give you the alert, your gut, your mind, and your spirit. You see what I'm saying? He'll
hmm,
even let people. He'll even come to go through a person to tell you and let you know because that is how he is. That is what he wants to help you through life. The characters that I came up with, he helped me come up with those characters. The storyline that I come up with, he came up with that. Like, don't you know? I wanted to give up and stop this show years a while ago because I wasn't getting people to see. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, I was going through something too. But he just kept on telling me, keep going, son, keep going, son, keep going, keep on pushing, because I didn't know, I didn't understand what was going on. I was
yeah,
scared. You know what I'm saying? I was scared of being laughed at because I was laughed at all my life. So I didn't know.
yeah,
So now you're like, okay, then okay, tell you God is telling you, push it out. It was one day where I was outside grilling one day, right? And God was telling me, you got a show today. You got a show today. And I went to sleep, right? He was like, get up, you got a show, get out, you got to prepare for the show, got to prepare for the show. I didn't even want to do that show that day.
yeah.
I had to prepare for the show, and he told me go prepare for your show, and I did the show. Yes, that's how you know that God is with you on everything because He is in every facet of your life because that is the way He wants. You don't want to stop.
And what did God want you to practice at that moment?
Patience,
Accountability.
accountability, and responsibility.
That's right. Because I always say accountability is the beginning of strength. The moment
Right.
you become accountable, you become stronger, you become reliable. And it takes strength to be reliable, right? And that's the
Mm-hmm.
thing. And to add to what you were saying earlier, like God wants to be in your life so that you make the best decisions for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because at the end
Because
of the day, you're an extension of God.
exactly, and you're representing Him. You know what I'm saying? And He already knows you're human. He knows you're going to make mistakes, but He wants to make sure that you're doing it. You're making right decisions. You
That's
know what I'm
it.
saying? And that's why I said, man, I didn't mean to get all up in the spiritual thing, all up in that, but I'm just saying when it comes to the in your face show, you don't know where the conversation is going to go. So we could be talking about acting and all that stuff, and then God to take over. And sorry about, I'm not going to say sorry about that. That's just God. When
Yeah.
God, two or three are God in His name, that's how what He does. So
Because at the end of the day, it's all one and the same thing, you know. What is art? Art is an imitation of life.
and what is
You know,
art?
and what
What
is
is art?
life? Life is the experience of your spirit inside his vessel.
And what
So
happened? He gives life.
there you go, back to the source, the creator,
Exactly. So, and the
the
crazy thing is,
storyteller.
exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Everything that we do is a part of the story that is
Mhm.
going on in what's just called life.
That's it.
And it's and the ending of the story is what? Him coming back to save his people. The second coming. So think about it, that or that could be a spin-off. You never know. You never know.
Or a sequel. You never know. You never know.
Yeah, or a sequel. That's what I'm saying with a lot of things, man. Like that's what I'm saying. It's basically it makes me feel that things can be better. Things can be it will be a lot better. And that's why I say people need this show. And I understand what people understand. What people saying is they need a show like this to it's about to show people that you don't have to be on shows that promote negativity, that promote drama, that
Hmm.
promote gossiping and promote killing people. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be on a show with nosy ass people.
I hear
I
that.
don't I don't want to be on a show with people asking me all kinds of questions like shit that don't even pertain to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, for example, you being on a show, bro, and somebody asks you, and the show is about you being an actor, right? Somebody asks you, so how was your love life? So how big, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck? What has my love life got to do with this shit? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, yeah, I see what you're saying, but at the same time, it's like your love life, your love life, like it's like I was saying, you're acting, you're taking pieces of yourself, right? So
Hmm.
for
Hmm.
some of the dramatic moments, you get inspired sometimes for your love life. So sometimes for somebody, especially for an actor, understanding an actor's love life can also, can explain his choices in some of the roles it takes. Like, the way he acted in that scene. Wow, we all felt that. So how's your love life? Because we want to know, how did you act so well in that scene? What experience did you pull from to give us a performance like that? You
Mm.
see what I'm saying? So,
Hmm.
and it's like I said, art imitates life. So now, as far as life is concerned, there are so many layers, as we spoke earlier. Now there's the gossips, there's this, there's that. Like, yes, there are people that love to gossip. There are people whose gossip is their reality. Believe it or not, there are people that I want to talk about, but like there are all kinds of realities. Everybody lives in a different, like type of reality. Now gossiping shows and stuff like that. Now we know that is not for you,
Right.
but best believe that like it's some people's realities. Like
Yeah.
people get concerned by what another person is doing, and yeah, man, like that's what I'm saying. Like, people like to throw the word diversity, 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 but do people really understand the word diversity?
No.
Are people really able to accept the level of diversity there really is?
No.
No, but they love to throw that word around. But yeah, yeah, man, that right now, that's a whole other realm. Now we're
Yeah.
about to go to the nether realm right there. Like, we're good.
No.
What I'm
Let's keep
saying
it right here. Let's keep it right here. Yeah,
is,
man.
like I was saying, is everything in life does help your craft if you
Hmm.
know how to you take those events, those lessons, and really capitalize on that. They all help.
Yeah. Yeah, because that is something that people as a whole understand that situation. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And and I'm gonna tell you that how I can talk in this camera for hours and hours
Yeah,
on time.
I know.
Years ago, I've stood up in a camera in a mirror, and I do it all the time. Talk to myself in the mirror. That's just preparing me for interviews, preparing me for big events that I like interviews and big events that I'm going to be a part of one day. And I have to be able to articulate what I'm saying and understand what I'm talking about. You know what I'm
Of
saying?
course.
And
That's a
I
big
have to
that.
be. What you say?
No, no, go ahead, keep going. I'll say it
No,
after.
it's just yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is like is the first part of anything. The first, you visualize.
Hmm.
You visualize, you plan, and then you manifest through your actions.
Right.
That's what it is. I was talking about it in another podcast called Muscle Mummies, and we were talking about training, how sometimes visualizing you doing a movement is helping you at least 20%. Because in order for a champion to become a champion, he has to see himself as a champion.
Exactly.
So now you being in front of the mirror is you seeing yourself in your full power and who you believe you are supposed to be. So you
Right.
visualizing, you prepping your body and mind to be that person, so that when you step out, you are that person. And that's something that you apply in everything, whether it's acting, whether it's life too.
Hmm.
Sometimes you want to talk to somebody, you want to talk to you want to talk to a person, but you guys have having problems. But before you see yourself, before you be able to talk to that person, you visualize yourself talking, and you create a dialogue. You speak to yourself. You'll do it in the shower, in front of the mirror. You have like this little dialogue you go through, and while going through this dialogue, you see all the possible answers that you might get from this person, whether the answer is good, bad, or middle, and you prepare yourself so that now, okay, I am ready to all the answers that person is ready to give me. So now I'm ready to talk to that person. And when you talk to that person, you are ready. You're ready. You are already the person that you wanted to be while talking to that person. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, you're telling the truth. You know. Okay. Do you have anything else to say to the people?
Yes. Follow me on Instagram. But it's my first and last name, Kevin Lukata. I'm gonna be appearing in a movie called The Order, coming out in 2023. So we are still in pre-production right now. We're having a couple of big names in it. Can't really say anything at the moment. And of course, I want to give my heart to the family of my mentor, the late R.L. Scott, who left us this past Tuesday. Give my heart to the family, and I'm hoping that, not even I'm hoping, I'm gonna make sure that everything that he was about, all the messages that he passed on, keep going. So you can see his stuff on YouTube, his podcast called Rebel with a Camera, where he teaches you steps on how to make, steps in filmmaking. And yeah, so yeah, find me there, and also find me on Beachbody. All right, I'm also a Beachbody trainer, so you can find me in the body category. Type Kevin Lucata, and yeah, let's get a sweat together. So my workouts are in French, but you do have subtitles, so you can still follow me.
Okay, okay. So you're gonna have to help me get my beach body, shit, cause I got a beer belly. How do you drink beer?
Honestly, my man, you let me know. I got you.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. I ain't gonna have to pay.
And it's not as difficult as some may think. The only thing that's required of you is your willpower. That's it. As my boy Nick would say, bring on the water bottle and the champion mindset.
True that, true that, true that, true that.
Yes,
Yo,
sir.
yo, yo. I gotta talk to you after the show. You know what I'm saying? You guys gonna have to talk to me after the show. I want you to record something too.
All
But
right.
yeah, uh, let me take us out of here. All right. Thank y'all for watching.
Thank you guys.
He said, thank you guys. Thank y'all
Thank you
for
for
watching.
watching. Hmm.
It's been awesome. I love you
Very,
guys.
very
Go.
enlightening. It was good to it's always good to hear someone, the way someone's perspective on life, because hearing someone's perspective on life adds up to mine.
Hmm.
It makes me understand another side of the spectrum. And it was an honor, man, to be here. It was an honor. Thank you.
Not a problem. Hey, bro. Hey, let those people know in the order movie. Let them know the In Your Face show. They need to get booked on the show. You know what I'm saying? The In Your
Yes,
Face
sir.
show is the place to be. And if you're not booked, you better come and get booked now because when we take off, is on.
That's
So
it.
it's been the In Your Face show, and we out of here. Peace.